Hi, it's Megan.
And it's Bree.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
Unseriesous. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious.
Where did my How come nobody ever wants to play with me?
How come nobody ever wants to? All right, we're back on Unseriesous on Zoom this time with our first virtual guest, Madison.
Our first virtual guest, our first long distance guest.
Yes, it's a big day, and why not? But for the summer, I Turned Pretty, everyone's favorite summer show, just finished their second season. Don't look at me like that. But before we get into that, just want to say hi to everyone. Hi, Madison. Hi,
You sound
Bree.
like her on NPR.
Long time no see.
Yeah. I just want to catch up with my friends and ask, what's everyone been watching, reading, listening to? Madison, kick us off.
So I have been reading Happy Place.
Okay, Emily Henry.
Yes, it's really good. I've been in a reading slump lately, and it's kind of burning me out, which is good. I would recommend. I'm only halfway through, so don't.
Yeah. Well, I've read it. Bree hasn't read
I
it.
haven't read it.
So we're a nice bunch. Have you read other Emily Henry books, or is this the first one?
I've read all of them, like the popular ones, like People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read.
Book Lovers?
Yeah.
Yes. Which one would you say is your favorite?
I loved Book Lovers.
Me too.
I think it's like an unpopular opinion because a lot of people didn't really like it. I liked it. I honestly cried during it. I don't know
Me
why.
too.
I was like sobbing my eyes out. I thought it was so good. But I also
That's what I said.
Too. So
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Book Lovers is not that people don't like it, but I think people prefer the other
That's
two
my
because I think
second
they're
favorite.
the first. And is Beach Read your first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I loved Book
I haven't
Lovers too.
read
I
it.
think that's my favorite. Yeah. And I won't say anything about Happy Place. Since
Yeah, don't
you guys haven't-
spoil it.
I won't. I want to reread them and try to come up with like a firm ranking, but I just reread The Summer I Turned Pretty, so I need to, or the second one. What about you, Bree?
I've been listening to Renee Rapp's new album, Snow Angel, on Spotify. Now I sound like a freaking ad. But that has been really good, and I can't wait to see her in October.
Plug, plug, plug.
Plug, plug, plug. But yeah.
Send this to Renee. Be like,
So this
we'll see you soon.
What about you, Megan?
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking. Like I said, I just reread It's Not Summer Without You.
Not you having it.
But I also have been catching up on Only Murders in the Building. So plug, plug, plug. It's gonna be spooky season on the pod in like a month. So we're gonna do all the spooky shows, and Only Murders in the Building season 3 will end around October. So we got to get ready for that. And I've been enjoying it, even though we're still in season 2.
Yeah.
But excited for Meryl Streep in season 3.
Yes. So true.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get down to business and talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty. I wanted to say because I think it goes without saying that all of our podcasts have spoilers for whatever show we're talking about, but I also wanted to preface that since we've all read all the books, I don't think we'll focus on the third book, but I definitely think things will come up. So if you haven't read the books, this is probably not for you. So let me tell you about The Summer I Turned Pretty. The Summer I Turned Pretty is a teen drama based on the book series of the same name, written by Jenny Han. The show follows Isabel Belly Conklin, a high school student who embarks on a trip to Cousins Beach every summer with her mother, Laurel, older brother Stephen, her mom's best friend Susannah, and her two sons Conrad and Jeremiah. The first season sees Belly come into her own and enter her first relationship, all the while juggling her feelings for both Fisher brothers. Conrad, who she has loved her whole life, and Jeremiah, who she starts seeing as more than a best friend. However, the summer comes to a startling end when Belly learns that Susannah's cancer has come back and she has a low chance of survival. In season 2, we see Belly's tumultuous relationship with Conrad grow and fall apart through flashbacks leading up to Susannah's death and Belly rekindling her now rocky friendship with Jeremiah. The next summer, the two help Conrad try to save the summer house that they spent their childhoods at and that Susannah loved so much from being sold. And while this journey to get the house back mends Belly's friendship with both of the boys, is she really over them for good? When the season ends, Belly makes a firm decision that Jeremiah is the one who her heart belongs to and evicts Conrad from her heart. But their love triangle will continue in season 3. Dun, dun, dun.
Continue.
It will continue. It's not over till it's over. I think the first thing I wanted to say, which is really cute, is that I read this series in middle school when I guess all 3 of them were out at that time, but I binged them. And then in high school, it came up and me and Madison bonded over this because Madison also grew up with these books. And that's kind of special.
Tender. Yeah, I didn't.
Can I preface this? I remember I was so obsessed with this series. So some of the book series, the scenes in the book, literally resonate with me. And I'm like, oh my God, this scene. I think about it and it's just my heart's racing. I begged Brie.
I remember this.
To read this series.
I said, who the hell is Conrad and Jeremiah?
I even gave her my Kindle and I was like, please read this series. And she would not.
Sorry about it. But guess
look at us now.
I did read it. Do I have the same special little connection as you two? No. But
you had it.
I know the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had it all right. Yeah.
No, same thing. This book series was so special to me in a way that I can't even explain. When I read them, they just took over. I read them faster than I think I've read anything. I've reread them throughout the years. I'll say when I read them, there was so this was over 10 years ago. There was supposed to be a movie, and I was like, okay, when's this movie coming? And then nothing ever happened. Then To All the Boys, Jenny Han wrote that too. That movie comes out. I'm like, wait, it's the same woman. Where is The Summer I Turned Pretty? And I feel all of a sudden last summer, I guess got out of the loop and it was out or about to come out, and it changed my life because, like I said, it meant so much to me. I feel it's rare to see a book to show adaptation of something that isn't as big as The Hunger Games and stuff. And I'm just jumping the gun, but I think it does a solid job of adapting all the scene. When you see those scenes that mean so much come to life, it's crazy. It made me so emotional to see a lot of stuff that I was begging for. I dreamt of this. I prayed for times like these, and now it's happening. That's crazy.
I also think that it's really special because you have a lot of people coming in who didn't read the books, and they're getting that same feeling that me and you got reading the books. This, it's this high school love and this feeling of being a young a child. And I feel you still get that watching the shows. I feel I don't know, I guess I can't speak on that, but maybe Brie could speak on that. But I feel from what I'm getting from people on TikTok and everything, everybody's still gets that same feeling.
Yeah, I really, really liked the first season. That made me feel something so special. But the second season, drama.
Yeah.
I can't I've never been in that situation, of course. I've never
many people have it.
I do not get what Belly is doing. And I like Belly more in the books. I have to say it. Belly is unhinged.
No, I think we should unpack that. I just wanted to really quick say, yeah, I think there's something about the season 1 that me and Brie watched like 4 times, which is crazy.
Yeah, I loved season 1, so comforting.
Because it's like, it's just that quintessential summer show. It's sweet, the family, and I think not that there's a bad reason why the season 2 is not like that. It's because like now Susannah has passed. They're not doing what they used to do. Like it's a completely different vibe, and that's fair. But yeah. But overall, I agree. I think it's cool seeing. Sorry, what?
More emo this season, I think.
For sure,
and very like,
yeah. But I think overall, yeah, there's something cool about like there's this bit about like being a 20 or 30-year-old teenager, but I feel like that's the vibe the show gives off is like you can be at any age and still have those feelings. And I think it is different for people getting into it for the first time versus like I feel like I'm reliving something versus like feeling this for the first time. Like it just brings back part of my youth that's really special. And I feel like protective over it. Like I definitely can like analyze and see where like things could be better, things could have changed. I don't know. But like it's still something where I'm like, if people are like, this is the worst thing ever, I'm like, we need to step away. This is my shit.
And go read the books.
Yeah. Go learn something. But yeah, I think that's where we start is the mess of this freaking love triangle.
The mess.
That I think we just need to cover off on that before we can really talk about anything else.
Think like it's it's like so much messier because of the kiss between Jeremiah and Belly in season 1. If that didn't happen in the book.
Mm-mm.
So like
he admitted he had feelings for her and she turned him down.
Exactly. So this just made it was like another back and forth. And I'm like tired. Like, and I like have learned that I hate love triangles.
I agree. I'm very anti-love triangle in general.
I don't know. What do you people think of the kiss happening?
I think like sorry, I'm so I'm so sorry. I feel like for me, I feel like the show in some ways is messier than the books, and in some ways is like better than the books. Because I feel like the books are like the whole like being in love with two brothers is so messy that like
Elena would know that.
I like can't even imagine.
Elena Gilbert knows.
But like especially two best friends or like two guys that were your best friends growing up.
You grew up. Yeah, you grew up.
Like so I feel
like it's your family, pretty much.
So I feel like it's so messy in general, but like I don't know.
I agree. I 100% agree that there's both. Like, I think the kiss in season 1, to Bree's point, 100% makes it.
And that wasn't just a little kiss.
No, they kissed multiple times, and they like were in the pool, and then they were in the car, and he was touching her boob. They were going full, like, and then like, then she kisses like Conrad, and like, even though, yeah, it's messy for that, but it's also, I think, in some ways, I think they do a good job of you don't get Conrad's POV until book 3, and Jeremiah still is the only other narrator we got in this season, so I'm assuming we'll see Conrad being a narrator in season 3, but you see so much more of him. You understand the mental health he's going through right away, like in season 1, the panic attacks and stuff like that, how much it's hurting him, and they also just like make him better. Like I feel like he's aloof, like it's still reasonable in the books. He's still losing his mom. He's still like not all present. But in the show, like you can tell he tries more. He's more apologetic, at least right away. Like they make Conrad better in the books or from the books. But at the same time, I think that's what makes Belly look worse because he is putting his best foot forward more than he was.
The worst. In this
Belly looks bad. Like, and I will even say, I think at least in the last episode, they also made Jeremiah look better because at some points, like he asked Conrad if he likes her, which he does in the book. I reread the book just so I could have like the most fresh memory of all this stuff. He asked Conrad if he likes her, and in the book he says no because he's kind of dumb in the books versus Conrad's a little more
he's
like
kind of dumb
versus he's a little more honest and a little more mature, I guess I would say. He's not no one is maybe. I think everyone's a little bit more mature in the show.
Yeah, this season felt
on average.
Sure. Well, not Belly.
Yes,
but everyone else
I'm trying to like streamline my conscious thoughts, but like yeah, they have a conversation about that, and I think he's like, I need Belly to make a decision based on her. Like, if she wants you, then fine, I'll let her go. If she wants me, then blah, 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 blah. But like, it's still, yeah, I think by making the boys more mature and then Belly still making all the same decisions, it makes her look a lot worse, is basically the big point I was trying to make.
I feel like in the same boat, like kind of talking about, since we both did read the books, you are immature when you're in high school. Like you are making these very stupid things, and like you don't really understand what Conrad's going through until you get to book 3. And he, like, I don't know, because I know the books and because I know how this ends, it's really hard for me to even be Team Jeremiah, even watching the show, because Conrad is so much better, because everything that you could argue against Conrad in the books is better in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's really hard, but it is, they do make these stupid decisions, and they are still in high school, just about to go off into college, and I think that's something to say.
And I agree, like, I think to villainize any of the 3, I mean, you can argue like who may be better or worse, but like to completely hate any of the characters to the point, like they're still young and grieving and all this other
they
stuff.
all lost a mom, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Susannah's pretty much Belly's, like, I mean, they've been together most of their life, so.
I think that's like my biggest defense. Like, I'm still like frustrated with some of like the choices from like just in general the book and some of the switches they made. Like when she like, another thing that makes it messy is the fact that this is like a week, and like before
that's what I'm
starts,
saying. Like she goes from I was in love with him, Stephen, to making out with Jeremiah on Conrad's car. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me. Like, and like, and I don't know, in the book, because like Conrad is so much more aloof, like he doesn't call her his girlfriend, and they don't sleep together, they don't like do all these more monumental things in the book, so it makes the relationship, I think, lesser in the book than as serious it was on the show. So it makes a little more sense that she's spending time with Jeremiah and they're bonding while Conrad's being completely like pushing them away. It makes more sense versus on the show he apologizes, he says they were in love,
and
they were in love, they have all these things that like made the relationship better, but it makes it less believable that all of a sudden she's like into Jeremiah, not even just like I feel like in the book it's a little more like caught off guard, where it's like, oh, maybe I do like Jeremiah, versus I feel like she's actively pursuing Jeremiah, even though 2 days ago she was like, yeah, I'm in love with Conrad. The scene on the golf course when they're doing Truth or Dare, and she's like, why didn't you kiss me? It's like, because you blew him off. You dated his brother and you're in front of his brother.
Like, what?
She makes it hard. Like,
I try to defend Belly.
I really am.
All for women's wrongs. We know this. But like, what?
That's, I think, the only way, not that it makes everything okay, but like we said, they have just lost their mother or mother figure. And they grew up together. Like, I feel like if these were 2 random guys at her high school and she dated like, this wouldn't be the same situation. Like, it's because they are her family, and she's probably trying to hold on so hard. Yeah, she's probably just being like, maybe this isn't how her mind is thinking about it, but I feel like subconsciously it's like, I need to hold on to at least one of them to keep our quote unquote family together. Like, we already lost Susannah. I couldn't make it work with Conrad. She's probably like grasping with straws, even if that's not how she's seeing it. Like, I think they all just want some semblance of what they used to have. Yeah. In some way. Not that makes it cool or smart decisions are being made. Yeah. Like, that's the only way like it can make sense, even if it's messy as hell.
Yeah.
While we're still on that, I think it's suffice to say that I am Team Conrad. Madison, what team are you on?
I am Team Conrad as well. Always will be. We'll die for him.
And Bree?
I'm Team Conrad, but
we got it on 4K.
Like they're obviously like in game. But at this point, I'm like, are we sure
we're sure we want this for him?
We want any of this? No. And I don't hate Jeremiah. I like Jeremiah personally.
I feel like I can see
until maybe if he does what he does it's just like that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, right? But I think like in the book, they just make it seem, I don't know. I don't want to give any spoiler. Can I spoil things?
Yes. I said at the beginning, if we don't
Okay,
need to spend too much time on season 3, book 3, but feel free.
But I feel like Conrad and Jeremiah are just so different. And I feel like Conrad has, in the book, you find out like it's this like love that has growing for her. Whereas Jeremiah is kind of just like, he loves the idea of her more so than
I see that.
Bella. And I feel like they are doing a pretty good job with portraying that in the show, if that's the way that they're going to continue. I know Jenny Han is like teasing that maybe she might not end up with Conrad.
She's playing so hard. She's just playing around.
Yes. But I feel like does a good job of like show, like, because have you seen, like, I am all down the TikTok rabbit hole of like, well, this is what this means. And it's like, well, Conrad picked her up from her house, whereas like when she went to go help Jeremiah at Brown, she rode the bus. Like just like little,
and in the book, he picked her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell like Conrad's like actually in love with Belly, and Jeremiah gives off very younger sibling vibes, which like I don't blame him, because he's always being told he's like not the best. He's always being compared to Conrad. And like he did have that friendship with Belly. Like he has a solid friendship with Belly, so I see how that could get like mixed up or whatever. But you can tell that like sometimes he's just like really pissed at Conrad. But you know what? I'm team Conrad and Jeremiah still like each other. They're gonna hate each other.
Well, I feel like they're making steps, because having that conversation at the motel was kind of a step, and maybe they can be in a better place. It just really depends on how they do this in season 3. Like it'll be very interesting to see like how they take stuff from the book and how they improve upon it, like she's been doing. But I 100% agree that like I've always gotten the vibes that Jeremiah is basically just doing this to, I mean, there's a line in season 1 where Conrad's like, this isn't a competition. Like, I like her. And I don't think that Jeremiah's like, well, I only like her because Conrad, or I want to be better. But I think there's some element of that from the comparison from like, well, like it's just another person that likes Conrad more than me. And I think he likes the idea of if Belly chose him, that's not just choosing him, that's choosing him over Conrad. And I also just think they just give best friend energy also. Like there's no, I mean, I get how people can view things differently. I just don't see, like, they just don't pull me. They just don't like give me like, and I think their kiss, like they have good chemistry, but it's not the same of like, oh, I really root for this to happen. Like I just see them being like best friends. And I think in the long run, they'll get back to that. But that's
and
just
you
what
just
I
get so much more with like Conrad. You get like a bunch of like, the flashbacks show that he was like, there's just so many things. And then there's the what's the bear called?
Junior Mint.
Like there's like, and then there's that Infinity. Like it's like literally, if you don't think she's gonna end up with Conrad, have you ever watched a show in your life? Like
I feel like too, like they show, like I feel like going back to this whole like Jeremiah versus Conrad, like her and Jeremiah, it is like this like kind of like first love kind of thing, where it's like very innocent and just like, sorry, she's literally
oh, a special guest.
But I feel like you're kind of getting this like, oh, it's just like a first love kind of thing. Not even first love, that's not the right word, but it's like a very innocent, like, oh, something that just happens in high school and then you grow up and you aren't in love with them anymore. Whereas like Conrad is this love of like your true soulmate kind of love. And I feel like you kind of see it is whereas like Jeremiah and Belly just seem like friends. And I feel like it's really hard when they're kissing and stuff. I'm like, they're just friends.
They freaking go at it though. I mean,
oh, I know.
On Conrad's car, that was crazy.
That's what's also insane.
They couldn't wait 5 minutes for that man to finish a fucking test.
It's like insane. Like twice. Like he could have walked in the second time too. Like they didn't learn their lesson. Like
no, wait. I wish he would have walked in the second time, because that would have been so
he would have jumped off a building.
My God. Conrad.
God, my man.
And I think it makes it so much sadder because you have like an episode, is it 5, where like he just walks out, and then like the start of episode 6, you kind of see like that he's like that Steven's like geeking him up and being like, or no, I'm sorry, it's 7 and 8, isn't it? I just totally messed up.
No, you're good.
But he's like, come on, like you got this, like Team Belly, like you got, like you're gonna go for it, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna go for it, and it makes it so much sadder.
Yeah, so sad. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's criminally insane, actually.
It's criminally insane, and it just brings me back to just like how insane like they get like how Belly is so annoyed that he's so annoyed. It's like you're in a sweatshirt, you're on his campus, you're on his car,
you're
with
on
his brother.
car. That's the funniest part.
And I lived like he was so petty. The summer Conrad turned
petty as he fucking should, though.
And like it was like, yes, it was immature, it was stupid,
but like Belly always initiated. Like Jeremiah was trying not to multiple times, but Belly's like, come on.
Belly like wanted it to be messy.
Belly needs it to be Jeremiah. She needed it right then, right there.
And I feel like too, like going back to, sorry, spoiler for anybody, but going back to the books, like she allows the like they go all the way up to the day of the wedding. And that is so messy of her. You know what I mean? Like she knew deep down that it would always be Conrad, and she went all the way up to the day of the wedding. You know what I mean?
An icon. She doesn't know.
I can't wait for season 3. That's like, it's gonna be hard to balance. Like you want them to try to be a little bit more mature, but like it'll be interesting. She's probably just, and honestly, I think here's where maybe the kiss from season 1 will end up rationalizing this. And she's like, well, I've already done this to him once. So like maybe she's just trying so hard. Well, I can't flip-flop again, and I just gotta marry him.
Yeah.
Is that to marry him and like be forever unhappy.
Yeah.
When Jeremiah got the Swedish
that was the one moment where I felt so bad. Because like she reached for those Sour Patch Kids, like she didn't even hesitate. In his face, I said,
he was like,
he had me for 5 seconds. So I feel like we could probably spend 17 years talking about just the love triangle, but I think we need, and they deserve, the other characters deserve our attention too.
They really need us.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things I think that we got that the books didn't give us was more insight into a bunch of the characters, but specifically Laurel, Steven, and Taylor. And Steven's not even with them when they go to the house and they have the party and they do the last belly flop. Like there's a line where Belly's like, and Steven wasn't even here for it. And I'm like, thank God they changed that. So
no, honestly, this season, Steven and Taylor carried on their backs.
Yeah.
Love them.
They pulled me the most. Like, that's where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
They were so cute.
And then I got like pissed when people are like, you can't be mad at Jeremiah for going after a girl that was with someone else. Because Steven did the same thing. And I said, that wasn't his brother. And second of all, Steven's never done anything wrong in his life.
Yeah, I really like Steven. He actually may be my favorite boy. He's just funny. He's nice.
He's a good brother.
He's a good brother. Like
he loves Conrad. He loves Conrad, but when the prom thing happened, he was like, no, Belly, come here. I got you.
Yeah, that scene. I like that scene.
Yeah.
And I love how different, like when you're comparing, because you can compare Belly and Jeremiah and Belly and Conrad's relationship, but even like with Taylor and Steven's relationship, it's so much different, and you really get to see like a different side of what love is like, and it's not all this like mushy, gooey, gross.
Yeah.
It's like playful and fun, and you don't have to be like breathing down their neck. Like he's like, oh, I'm not that type of guy that's gonna watch my girlfriend at her camp.
Jeremiah.
You know what I mean?
Lurking in the bleachers.
Yeah. Literally. I was like, is anybody else there? Is Jeremiah?
He's just
moms.
That scene's insane. Everything about it.
Yeah, no, just while we're talking about it, like that ending was crazy. Like I liked that there was another storyline. I liked that there was another storyline for Belly other than her love life. Like there was obviously like the house and Susannah, but they also were like, but Belly also like should have her own things going on with volleyball and then eventually college. Like that's nice, but honestly, that ending kind of just like fell flat. I'm like, who cares that she's at volleyball?
It felt rushed because like it wasn't talked about any other time. Like at the very end, she gets in, and then
also, what kind of coach is not sympathetic to that stuff?
Yeah, that was weird.
She like had a death in the family, and they're like, well, and like maybe she fucked up, but like she's 16 and someone died, and like now the whole weight of the volleyball team is on her shoulders.
Their volleyball team, their pink crop top volleyball team.
Yeah. So strange. Honestly, have you seen the whole like theory that there's a 4th of July episode? Have you seen this?
Oh, I saw that. I'm like, people are delusional.
There's this whole theory of like there's a 4th of July episode because you know how Conrad, when he's leaving, he's like, I'll see you guys in Cousins for 4th of July.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, there's a 4th of July episode. And everyone like truly believes that there's going to be another episode. Because then they're also talking about the whole, okay, you know how Jenny Han posted the picture and it's, what, I cannot think of actors' names right now, but the girl that plays Belly, she's in that white dress and it's
Lola.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like the behind the scenes and everyone's like, where is this coming from?
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah, why were they in that? I've been tricked by that twice with 2 different other shows where they're like, there's another show coming.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so now I can't. I'm like, where?
I will eat it up if we get it, but
I'll eat it up.
Yeah. I'm not that thinks a little bit.
Yeah. But part of me thinks like, yeah, maybe that'd be a little better than just like ending on volleyball, but I don't think we need a full like 40 more minutes before season 3. Like we might as well just start season 3. I know that we gotta pay the writers, we gotta pay the actors, but
yeah,
just give me season 3. I don't want to wait 2 summers.
I was really hoping I saw this. Somebody posted again. I'm so sorry. I'm like TikTok addicted. So I can literally talk about TikTok all day. It's disgusting. Horrible. Anyways, somebody on TikTok was like, wouldn't it be great if they had ended like this season with like a flash forward of like the wedding day?
Yeah.
I would have
like or some little sprinkle of like the 3 years later, and you're like, what? Even if you've read the books, you're like, what?
And they're like on the beach fighting or something. Like I would have eaten that up instead of her playing volleyball at the end.
Yeah. No, it should have been like 30 seconds of like, because that's what they do. That's like a paragraph. That's like a few years later. And it's like, I didn't know where my life would be, but here we are. And it's like, that would be such a good tease. Like people would have eaten that up.
Yeah.
Anyway, hire me, but also pay other writers too.
And then the spike. No, she had to spike the volleyball. And you had to show that Belly is happy now.
Playing volleyball while Jeremiah watches on.
Jeremiah.
Conrad unpacks her entire bedroom.
That's kind of funny.
Anyway, I think on the subject of Taylor and Stephen, Taylor in general, so much better than the book. She's awful in the book.
I love Taylor.
Oh, she's in the book. She's like the first book. I feel like she's really there. The second book, she's kind of there, and then like the third book, she's like barely there.
And like she's not a good. Maybe in the third book, she's a little better. I'm gonna have to reread that before season 3. But like, she's so awful. Like she kind of pushes her to like try to like get out of her funk in the show, which is valid. But like, she like writes off the fact that it's like she's grieving. Like she is not at all understanding of, even if she's like complaining about like, you need to get over Conrad. It's like there's a lot to unpack here, and Taylor is not like supportive at all. Like she's so rude. Like their whole relationship is so much more like toxic in the books than in the show. It's like they argue like friends do, but like so much better. And she's such a good character in general on the show.
Yeah. And I think like they kind of keep with her personality from the book of this like, very dry sense of humor and like very, it can come off really mean. I love her. I support her. I am her. Like my personality is like very dry and just like that's just how I am. I love it. Love it. I feel like she just does a great job. But I think they do a good job with making her like less mean than she is in the book. In the book, she is mean. She is mean.
I also think she's my favorite. Sorry, my favorite like casting. Honestly, like her, the actress that plays her knocks it out of the park. She's in a better way. She's exactly what Taylor is in the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Steven and her, like the banter. Like there's like they both are so like they have like the same, not the same personality, but like they like
they complement each other.
Yeah. And I think Taylor was like the perfect amount of like the perfect friend in this season. Like she wasn't trying to be like she was there and then but she like knew her time to leave. Like I don't know. She's definitely one of my favorite.
I agree.
And if I'm wrong, Megan, but doesn't Taylor try to go for the boys in the book?
Not a little bit, yeah.
Like she like to go for Conrad and Jeremiah in the books, making this like, messy love triangle even more messy.
Like it's not like a full force. Like she just, I think, wants the attention from them, and she's like, it's weird that Belly's getting it when I'm usually the one who gets it. Like, but then she like teases Jeremiah a lot. I think Conrad did not put up with her, so she kind of moved on. And then there's like she's like. There's a moment where Belly thinks she's gonna find her with Jeremiah, but she finds her with Steven, like when they have like that kiss in the like flashbacks versus on the show. It was like actually that summer. Yeah. Taylor leagues ahead of most characters on the show and definitely herself in the book. And then I also really enjoy the moms. Like obviously we lost Susannah this season, but even like their little scenes, like you get the boys' perspective later on in the books, but you never get like Laurel's perspective versus like now on the show, you get to see her have a life of her own, like with Cleveland and now her like book club, which I love. But it's also honestly more devastating because like they had that scene where Susannah and her were like sitting on the docks and she was like, well, my time is coming. Like I might not even get to read the book if you don't let me read it now. And like, God, that
all
really
their scenes are heartbreaking. Like scenes of them like anywhere, like when they're just having the deep conversations like on the dock or on the beach, or it's like and you just know that your friend is gonna like she knows her friend is gonna die. Like that is.
Can I also put a little insert in here talking about Laurel and Susannah? Did you see where she knocks the letters down?
Yes.
And the mixing up of the
I screamed.
Goosebumps.
I screamed. I was like,
as soon as I saw the letters, I was like, the letters.
Not the letters. And then I saw her knock them down and I saw Laurel shoving it into the letter.
Oh
my God.
And that gives you everything you need to know that like Jenny Han can say whatever the fuck she wants. It's gonna roll. At the end of the day, it's gonna end the same way it ended.
Yeah.
Oh. And like, have you seen the whole? Sorry, we're really I'm backtracking it. But the whole scene in the motel where she's like tossing and turning, and she wakes up facing Conrad.
And I saw this on TikTok. Well, and I kind of noticed it. The light on Conrad and the darkness on Jeremiah.
Symbolism. Jenny Han really is the Taylor Swift of books.
Yeah, she really is.
I fucking love
Thank God she got 8 Taylor Swift songs.
She was in one of the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also like I was watching with my roommate and I was like, oh my God, we gotta
Jenny Han is here. We gotta bring it back.
Han. Shout out to Jenny Han also. In general.
Yeah, Jenny Han.
For bringing us all here today.
She has that BTS. She posts everything. And I like that she posts like every TikTok, like no matter what. Like she posts like everything. So you're so confused on what she really thinks. I mean, but you know she.
Well, it's like it's nice that she supports her fan, and like in general, like that's so important to me. Like there's so many. I've been burned so many times by different TV show writers and stuff who just like honestly want to spite their fans or try to do too much for shock value. But she cares. Like she knows what's important to the people who read the books. Incorporates those seasons into the show. She hypes them up on social media. She interacts like and. She sticks true to like what she wants to do, but still like pays respect to the people who got her there in the first place. Like that is so important, and
Jenny
love her.
Han.
Like sometimes I'll get frustrated about what's going on. I'll be like, Belly, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, like Jenny Han is giving me what I needed 10 years ago as an adult today. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And she like really feeds the girls. Like she is like literally like, let me get as much Taylor Swift into this season as I possibly can. Even like the little bits of Taylor Swift that we get, I'm like,
Hey, Steven.
I'm
Hey,
eating
Steven.
it up. Yes.
That was in the book too. Like so that was like
Yeah.
a
That was in the
real
book.
spread string. No, she gets it because that's like there's like the little Hunger Games stuff, the little Taylor Swift. Like
Yeah,
it was like it's like a perfect
dreamy.
like encapsulation of like things that were important to me 10 years ago that still have that special place in my heart. I mean, obviously Taylor Swift is still thrive. Like she's bigger and better than ever, but it's still something that was a key part of my growing up as well.
And she uses like Taylor Swift songs that are not like the most popular. Like she's not playing Love Story out here. Like she's playing Bigger Than the Whole Sky. Like crazy,
It's
like
tragic.
really, like songs that like you might not like actually grasp onto if you're not like a huge Taylor Swift fan. But then you have like False God in the first season. It's like those are not like popular, like the most popular songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
she's not doing this for the locals.
She's not doing it for the local. True.
Yeah, 100%. I think. Yeah, I just everything about it makes me emotional. Like when the Taylor Swift needle drop starts, you know something's about to go down. Although she did break my heart and give one to Jeremiah, which I was fine.
yeah, really, ma'am.
Really, ma'am? Delicate. She's like, and then she went on her story and said, "Did you guys think Taylor Swift songs were only for?"
Yeah, I was
Like, all right.
Yeah, I did it.
All right.
I'll give it to her, I guess. Keeping us guessing. Okay, is there anything else that we feel like is fun before we kind of get into like our favorites, least favorites that we want to make sure we cover?
Do you want to at least touch on the new characters that we have?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
And we didn't talk about Cam Cameron. And we didn't talk about Taylor's boyfriend, who I think was a legend.
Milo. Yeah.
I think he was an icon.
Getting even with Steven.
His rap in the last episode, one of the best parts.
Yeah.
His disc track.
Yeah, we kind of already said this, but just taking what is amazing from the books and growing it, Jenny Han.
Yeah.
And that is giving us new stuff because Aunt Julia and Cousin Sky, no, they don't even exist in the books. And I like that better than
I kind of like that because in the books, like the dad is heartless. Like
I thought,
trying to sell this house and is like heartless. So it kind of like gives some more like humanity back into like the show, I feel like.
Because and it's very like realistic. Like the moms, like them being in a fight with each other. I don't know. That's real life. And but then you still see she has a heart.
And more heartbreaking too, because they didn't resolve it before she died. Like that's honestly the biggest thing is she's probably just like, well, I need to get rid of this because it's going to be a reminder that like we didn't reconcile while we still had the chance.
And I feel like the books also only have like for a series don't really have that many characters in it. You have like Taylor in it, but Taylor doesn't play a huge role. And like later you have other friends from college there, but they're just like not playing a huge role. So to introduce some of these characters or bring in characters from the book like Taylor and making them a little bit bigger of a role than they actually played in the book, make it exciting because us like as readers who read the books years ago, we get to like have something new, something different that we didn't like. We're still left like a little surprised, you know what I mean?
Like you're not watching the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like tarnishing anything either.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's more realistic for like there to be more characters. And if it was just like like if they only focused on the characters that were there just wouldn't be enough content for
Conrad, Jeremiah, and Belly. Like I just reread this.
If it went back between them the whole time, I don't think I could have done it.
No.
I needed like a break. I needed some fun moments, which the new characters added.
I love that they brought Cam Cameron back. Part of me wants him to be Jeremiah's endgame, but that's just me.
People do want that, and I support it.
It's Jeremiah's scene with someone at the wedding in the end, and I'm like, why not make it Cam Cameron? Just keep him coming back. But I also liked knowing that Conrad is going to Stanford, that he kind of isolates himself in California. I like knowing that Sky and Aunt Julia will probably be a bigger part of his life and that he won't be like totally without like family. Because I feel like that's what happens, right? He barely interacts with Jeremiah and Belly and probably like everyone else.
That's
until
so
the wedding.
sad. He has no one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when Exiles play.
We just keep coming back. That's when you were gonna lose it when Exiles started playing.
That's my song. August and Exile, and she used both of them. Okay. Yes, I loved the new characters. Milo, the fight at the party between Milo and
I like the party. I like the party. It was so happy, and I like. That's my favorite episode of Belly. Like, even though because Belly has really annoyed me this whole season, but
this is definitely your look, Connie, baby.
Let's get it.
And like their outfits and stuff.
They're so good.
It's fun.
In the party in the USA dance.
Love it.
And like Steven. Wow.
Yeah, no, that was fun because that's in the books too, but it's like 2 pages and like they reference Nicole, Red Sox cap girl. Like she's so much that's back in season 1, but they evolved her, made her have like her own like life and agency outside of Conrad. And then they brought some of those people back in this party and it was actually like a full episode rather than 2 pages of this book where not much happens.
Yeah.
In comparison. But yeah, who else? Anyone?
Who else?
Yeah, I think their dad still kind of sucks, but at least it wasn't a choice.
I like Laurel when Laurel came in and
put Belly in her place.
Shit.
No. Not good.
That is.
We don't support abuse.
We don't support that, but
it did show like how hard this was for Laurel and how hard this was for Belly, and they weren't talking about it.
Freaking friend, and she wasn't showing her like she wasn't truly feeling it. Like, and then you have Belly going behind all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And trap.
Like, well, I think this is like the perfect time, I think, to say something that I think a lot of people especially people that just are seeing the show on and not really watching, but are probably seeing it online. Like, this show is so much more than the love triangle. Yes, that's a huge part and it's what's going to carry us through. But like, this show at the end of the day is also a show about like grief and family. And I think that's when the show is at its strongest. Like, I put this on the other day when they find out that Susannah has cancer again and Laurel and Steven and Belly are like crying in the bed. I watched this and tortured myself, but it's one of the best scenes of the whole show. It gives the actors the time to shine. It gives like the storyline like is at its strongest. And that I think is what's also so special. Like, it isn't just about a love triangle. Like, maybe that's what everyone's talking about, but it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I put that scene as like one of my favorite scenes because like it's sad and stuff, but like it's so good. Like I was crying, you know this. I was crying during that scene,
and Bree's not a crier.
I was so real. I'm not a crier during. So
that's how you know.
I love when they were all, and now, but we don't get the full family anymore.
No,
I have to go watch season 1.
Yeah, sorry guys, gotta go. Anything else? Trying to keep an eye on time.
Ready to go to. I'm sure we'll talk about more in.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, there'll be, like we said, more to talk about when season 3 comes. We'll come right back here, or maybe I pitched that we go to
summers.
Shut the pay the writers so I can get my show next summer. Because I'm not getting it not in the summer, but I'm not waiting another summer. Anyway,
how old will we be? Sorry,
shut the fuck up.
No. We already are old.
No, I'm a teenager.
I'm a 24-year-old teenager. Anyway, so now we've reached the portion of our show called the Epic Highs and Lows, where we talk about our favorites and least favorites from the show so far.
Your voice is so quiet on the Zoom. Like, you should do how do you say it? ASMR.
Okay. What is everyone's favorite or multiple favorite characters?
What did I know?
I can start. Okay. I said Conrad, Steven, Laurel, the big 3.
Okay. I only said 1, but like I probably have more, but I just said 1 and it's Laurel.
Yeah.
I love Laurel.
if I had to pick one, it would be, I don't know. I think I'm like tied between, I really love Taylor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Push my camera down. I think Taylor is my favorite and Conrad, but Conrad, like sometimes it depends on the episode because he can be goofy and gloomy, but I love Steven as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Least favorite characters. I struggled because even if I'm mad at Belly, she's not my least favorite character.
No.
So I put Mr. Adam Fisher.
Yeah, I
Fuck
put that
that
too.
guy.
I put Conrad and Jeremiah's dad because I didn't even know his name.
Or yeah, it's Adam. What's the? You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember what
Fine.
Belly's dad's name. Isn't it like John?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, where'd he go?
Adam and John. I know he was at the beginning for Steven's graduation.
And that's it. He disappeared.
Steven doesn't get enough with Laurel or with Susannah, but like her sending him that note and then him incorporating it in his graduation speech. Steven.
I had so much hope that she was still going to be like that they were going to make her because of the trial. I thought she was going to get to live like maybe like a little longer. And then they go to the graduation and it's like an empty seat. I'm like, damn.
Okay, so some favorite moments or episodes. I know we've talked about a lot, but any other highlights that we haven't covered?
Conrad singing at the funeral.
Aware, baby. That's your favorite or least?
Favorite. No, I thought that scene, I thought I was going to cry during that scene. I was like ready. I'm like, oh, here comes another emotional. And then he went, where? And I get the intention behind it, but also that actor's just very unserious. So like, I could not keep that.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene, honest to God, was the when they're like stuck in the car together.
When Conrad is
like
shooting the shit.
I just think it's so funny. I honestly kept pausing it because I had to keep laughing.
Yeah. But it's also just let him be goofy because like he's so serious. I love that he finally was like, he let it rip because
I don't care.
He's tired.
He's tired. He's like,
tired.
I'm tired of this.
I'm tired.
I
like any scene with Susannah and Laurel. Is the best.
Yeah.
What else?
I put the belly flop in the picture, like the four of them, like that is quintessential Summer I Turned Pretty. And my favorite scene from the books, which made it into the show, was the hot chocolate scene and when they ran out on the beach in the snow. Like that was a scene that like when I knew this was going to be a show, like that was what I was waiting for. And one of those moments where, you know, like it's a little different than the book, but like Jenny Han kept the dialogue where it was important and made it and expanded from that. And then played Taylor Swift at the same time. Also, I wrote this down when we were watching when Belly and Connor are having their phone calls. And it's such like a small moment, but like it expands on like, you know that they have phone calls in the book, but it like you get to see what they actually say. And I like teared up because it was another one of those things where it's like, I prayed for this. Like I wanted Belly and Conrad on the screen 10 years ago. And now it's like here and they're just like having so many like small little moments that like are from the book, but also like expanding for the book. I was like, I deserve this.
I always talk about like I love the books. Like I will die.
No way.
But at the same time, like I feel like the books are not like great for a TV show or a movie. Like there's not a whole like if you go back and read them, there's really not a whole lot to go off of
content.
Like adding like these little things that like make the plot so much better or expanding on like you were saying, like they talk about how they're in like they're like on the phone with each other, but like they're not like really saying what they talked about, and it makes that they makes their love seem more real.
Yeah. There's like one part where she was like, oh, I have volleyball practice in the morning and it's like 2 a.m. He's like, oh my God, if I knew that, like I went, or like a test or something. Like it just shows that he's not just like, I'm just talking to this girl. Like I feel like in the books, even though I really loved Conrad, I saw what he was, I knew the truth behind his like cold exterior, but like it just makes him so much more like caring and real. Like, and he never called her his girlfriend in the books, and when he did that on the way to Cousins, like my mom is so happy you're my girlfriend. Like, wow, Jeremiah, what are you doing? And then I think I really like the episode where they did the carnival thing, where it was like 3 versus 3, the boys versus the girls.
I like when
And Sky.
Cameron shows up for the first time.
Someone edited like sitcom like clapping,
It's
like when he comes in. They know what we want. Yeah. And then unless anyone has any more favorite moments, least favorite moments.
Flashbacks. Any flashback where Susanna's sick, I don't like seeing because I'm like sad. And then I didn't like when Jeremiah and Belly were kissing on the car.
It was aggressive.
It was aggressive. I'm like, he just went to take a test. Calm down.
He's
Yeah,
coming
like,
any minute.
Like before, so I'll admit the reason I was a little late was because I was on TikTok. I saw this TikTok and it was this guy like devouring this like fruit, and it was like Jeremiah when he was kissing Belly. Sorry, oh my god,
Bella Swan.
Bella Swan when he was kissing Belly. And I'm like, that is so true. He was like eating her. Like it was not it.
Sport.
I agree with that. And I already said this, but when she's like, why won't you kiss me? When the truth or dare game, it's like, shut the fuck up. Love you, Belly, but get it together.
Why won't you kiss me?
The Susannah funeral, which is this was a book where I feel like it's maybe not the best in the series, but because of the Conrad and Belly moments, I would reread those scenes all the time. So like I knew that funeral scene like the back of my hand, but it still guts you every time. I was like, I'm the one who asked for this, but her telling him to go to hell at his mother's funeral. Fleetwood Mac is playing also.
And
insane.
It kind of is like and you kind of feel for her, but at the same time, it's such an uncomfortable feeling. Like as somebody watching it, you're like, oh my god, this is so awkward. You're like, oh my god, she's telling him to go to hell.
I'm in place.
Yeah,
and it did it at my mom's funeral.
Like, she just like walks in. They're just sitting next to. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't that true. Yeah. Like it wasn't like it didn't need like Belly really jumped to a conclusion, and I'm like, right now it's about Susannah. Conrad has a song in his heart, and he wants to sing it. Exactly. And then it's like, you'll never be. I love that song, the Fleetwood Mac song. But I'm like, God, at time and place.
Yeah. God, yeah. And she falls.
Yeah, that's even worse. It's so embarrassing falling, and she fell.
And she fell.
You're like embarrassed for her.
Yeah, you're like making secondhand embarrassment. Like you're making a scene at like everyone's staring at her, and then she falls too. It's like shit in succession.
Yeah.
Imagine being pregnant.
And then you fall. Yeah. Also, just shout out, we talked about Taylor Swift, but the soundtrack of the show, amazing. Fleetwood Mac, Beyonce, Lana Del Rey in the motel.
Lana Del Rey, Frank Ocean.
I was about to say Steal My Girl. Like that was another moment where it's like they're about to go to cousins at Christmas and One Direction is playing, and this is exactly what it needs to be. Amazing.
Yes.
And then our last few questions, I'm going to throw in a new one, which is just what is everyone excited about for season 3 from the book? I've said this to Brie. I'm really excited to see the Laurel and Conrad scenes because I just think their relationship is so special, and I'm excited to see that more on the show.
Madison?
I think this is one that I like. It is so ingrained into my brain. It is when the wedding is about to start. Conrad's trying to find Jeremiah for the wedding. And they get into this blowout fight on the beach. My child himself would be screaming. I want to watch it. I cannot wait.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see everyone be happy.
I'm like, I want them to fight.
And I'm like, looks around. They're gonna beat each other. They're gonna drown each other.
That's why I'm hoping like the epilogue is like extended, or at least like a montage of like seeing everyone grow back together, like Belly and Conrad, but like also like Jeremiah too, and
all the new characters. Like I feel like everyone should just be there and be happy, even though Susannah's not there. But like
they show a flash of her in the sky, like Mufasa.
Yeah, exactly. She shows up. Wait, hold on. What kind of show is this?
Okay. Yes, hold on. Wait. exterior beach.
Beach shoe on.
Yeah.
I
I hope they
the
do
fight
more.
scene in One Tree Hill, where he
A
was
fight
fighting in the ocean, and they're like,
Oh,
Dan and
this is your
Clay.
baptism.
yes, that's what I'm picturing. This Jeremiah and Conrad fight.
Just drowning. Probably.
Also,
Going back, sorry, I just saw this today and I thought it was so funny. They were saying that Conrad in the car was like Stefan when he loses his humanity, and that is the best.
No, it literally was. It's like people were saying he's like Damon, but in that that's literally Stefan without humanity. Like how sarcastic he's being and stuff.
and Chris is so Paul Wesley coded.
Yeah, no, I've said that Chris is like exactly like Paul Wesley, like in interviews.
All right. Speaking on that little silly scene, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most unserious a show can be, what would you rate this show?
6.
I said like 5.
Yeah, I would say 5.
Maybe 5.5.
5.5.
I just think if you took away the Susannah storyline, it would be a lot more unserious. But
no,
then you have those moments.
You know what made me chuckle? When Jeremiah goes outside of the motel and Conrad's just sitting by the vending machine.
In the glow of the vending machine.
Sitting in the glow of the vending machine. And I'm like, I laughed out loud. I did.
When Belly walks in and Conrad goes, "What is she doing here?"
What is she
So dramatic.
There, the house is for sale. And then finally, would you recommend the show to others?
Of course.
Yeah. That's what you're into.
I feel like that's what I mean. Like, I feel like
everybody.
There are shows where I think everyone should watch this. I feel like there are some people where I'm like, you this isn't for you.
No,
and that's
I feel like everyone shouldn't watch this. I don't think it's a show for everyone.
Oh, yes.
But like, I think it also like would mean like people who read the books, like it obviously means so much more. But and then people who are younger today watching it, it's probably like I'm a 24-year-old watching. I don't know, but like I recommend it. But yeah, it's drama.
I agree.
But it's a love triangle, which I don't love.
Yeah,
which is hard for. I think the Vampire Diaries burnt me out on that.
That's fair. Well, it's just like there's either a love triangle where it's like it's so back and forth, which I would say Vampire Diaries falls in and this falls in. But then you have other love triangles like Twilight or even To All the Boys where they throw in someone randomly. It's like, what's the point when we know who she's ending up with?
Yeah.
Down with love triangles.
Down with love triangles. I just think sometimes we're like, hold on. But it's fun. And I really like season 1, I feel like could be good for anyone who's like lost anyone. Like, I don't know, it's a good summer show. I mean, this season gets more into just like the love triangle of it all, basically. But the first season, I had a very nice time.
I feel like season 3 has the potential to be like a nice mix of being like a summer show, because it's gonna be like, as much as it is gonna lie on that love triangle, it's gonna be like they're prepping for a wedding and everyone's coming back together years later. Like, they're not gonna be in the throes of grief the way this season was. Susannah just died, so hopefully
it was like a month.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it'll be a little more lighthearted. Like, it'll definitely be dramatic, but I think it'll have the opportunity to be more fun even when everything breaks down.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, season 2 was just such a short amount of time. Like, so much happened.
And they're getting
like
full
how the book is too.
10 episodes for the next season.
Oh no. It's gonna be
so pay the writers.
No one's gonna pay the writers.
Who do I need to talk to? I feel like a mom. Like, do you want me to go talk to them?
You want me to go talk to them?
Can I say one more thing I forgot to say?
Yeah.
Loved how they incorporated the "It's Not Summer Without You" title as the book that Laurel wrote for Susannah.
I loved that, actually.
I like gasped. So it'll be interesting to see how they do the "We'll Always Have Summer," unless, because like Bridgerton will do like episode titles, like the episode titles will be the book titles. So I'm interested to see how they will do that. Season 3.
I know. I'm excited.
Just 2 more years.
Shut up.
Okay.
I also am wearing my
Oh.
Summer I Turned Pretty shirt.
Love.
I'm wearing my Taylor Swift shirt.
I'm not wearing anything.
That's
so-
I got nothing.
Everything. No. So now we're at our final segment of the pod.
Oh no.
Game night with Megan and Bree and Madison and Madison.
That's an official audio. We took that to the studio.
Yeah. Bree,
Okay.
what are we doing?
We're gonna do the Summer I Turned Pretty trivia. And I am your host. I came up with these and I did my research because I could have just said bacon for me. I say like the wrong answers. Like some of them I did not know the answer to. But I got this. I'm hoping this tricks you because I looked up some and they were so easy. Like I knew all of them. I'm like, they're gonna know those. I had to.
God.
But the first one's really easy. If you don't get it, you're a fake fan.
So are we just like, we'll write them down and then you'll like tell us when to show them?
Yeah. So you both get the chance to hold it up. But you okay. Ready?
It's not a time thing, right?
No.
Okay.
And it's not like you both get a chance to get the point. Like it's not first come. Okay. Ready? Uh-oh, don't that's not the attitude. You gotta say I'm gonna win.
Okay.
Okay. What was the flavor of the margarita made at the 4th of July party in season 1?
Do I get the spelling count?
Yeah.
If you're close to, no, that's okay if you're illiterate.
Thank you.
I
am. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wow. You both get the point.
Exactly.
What is so embarrassing reading that?
It was pomegranate.
Yes.
Megan sounds so official.
I know. I'm like, what are we on the radio show?
And I probably sound like a squirrel.
I'm like yelling. I sound like a little squirrel.
I just had to make sure our audio listeners knew what the answer was.
Yeah, true. Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
What game activity is Cam Cameron working when we first see him in season 2? Isn't that good? That's pretty good.
What game?
Or activity it's.
Yeah.
I think I know this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Yes. Rock climbing.
Rock climbing it was.
I feel like on
Jimmy runs up with the harness.
Okay.
I
feel like there's that game on Jimmy Fallon, password, catchphrase, whatever, and like you hear the voice go, the password is pomegranate.
That's you when you read the one word, the few words. All right. In season 2, what kind of candy does Conrad bring Belly around Halloween? I heard you guys are Conrad Belly shippers. I'm not sure about that. I knew this, like without looking it up.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm an official I actually run the Team Conrad page on Instagram.
Okay, I have a feeling I'm wrong, but
okay. I want it to be so out of pocket, just like not even close.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay. No, Madison. I was offended by that answer.
I was offended.
Megan, we're gonna give it to you because it was blow pops or lollipops.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't even know if it was officially lollipop, but it was a bouquet of lollipops.
I know it now. Okay.
I'm
No.
really like I was like offended. I was kind of like
Yeah,
taken back
I mean, as
by
soon as
that
I heard
answer.
candy, I thought it was Sour Patch. For the listeners, Madison wrote Sour Patch. I wrote bouquet lollipops / Tootsie Pops ?
The way I read Madison's, I was like,
You're like wrong. Stupid.
how dare you, stupid. No. Okay. All right. We have a little who said it? Who said it? You don't have to hold everything in all the time. You don't always have to be strong. Who said that?
Was it this
Madison's
season?
looking.
Can I ask? Was that this season?
No.
Oh.
I feel like I'm gonna go on a limb here.
Me too. I don't feel confident.
I don't feel confident in this at all. Bree's gonna be like wrong.
I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna be like, how dare you? No. Okay. I'm nervous. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Good job.
Was
it?
Laurel.
So the Laurel was the answer. Was it her
Laurel.
talking to Conrad?
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
Look
My
at us.
core too. This is riveting. My heart is racing.
I feel very nervous. I feel like I'm a fraud.
If you lose, you get blown up. No, nothing's gonna happen.
You get a fireworks shot at you by Jeremiah. Which is I didn't make this point, but like Conrad never sabotaged him and her and
I'm telling
Jeremiah,
you, Jeremiah has big youngest energy.
Yeah.
If I would do that.
Like Conrad had no clue. No clue. But the entire time Jeremiah knew, like he almost saw them kiss and threw a firework at them. Okay,
that's
sorry.
so
I rest my
real.
case.
Just blow them up. Okay. Ready? This may get you. Maybe not. What movie do they watch at the cousin's house in honor of Susannah in season 2? Uh-oh. Madison! Just write something.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that support.
It's like 2 in my head that they talk about in the books and the show.
I don't even have 2.
I don't even have a single one.
I don't even have a 1.
I don't even have a thought.
This is my strongest guess.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Question mark. And it happened one night. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm not good with names, so that kind of stuff.
It's okay. I don't think I would. Well, maybe because I feel like they also mentioned like Philadelphia Story or something at one point. I don't know what the fuck that is, but like it happened one night I watched in a film class, so that like stuck
you
with
got
me.
you knew it. I've never seen that.
It's like one of the first rom-coms. It's cute.
The fuck? First?
Fun fact.
Okay. Are you ready? In season 2, Aunt Julia is introduced. What does she hate?
What? Conrad. What?
Connie, baby.
Oh, okay.
What does she hate? Should I give you like a hint? Is that too hard?
I have a guess. So I think I'm good, maybe.
I feel like this is going to be wrong.
I think Madison has it.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Georgia.
I think Georgia knows the answer.
Georgia says she knows the answer. She's also getting slobber all over this page. So
woo. Yes, Georgia.
She's just going to sit in on the podcast.
Oh,
perfect. All right. One. She's so cute. 1, 2, 3. Madison got it.
Ah, damn it.
I said the beach house.
Beach house? That's good.
Beach house too. Okay,
That's
good.
good.
That was pretty good.
I said
Because
Christmas.
Aunt Julia hate
So the answer was the
Conrad.
beach/beach house.
Conrad.
I said Christmas because of shit miss.
Fitness.
But also Conrad and Jeremiah. And Laurel and Belly and
She actually
Steven.
hates snow.
And Cam Cameron, even though she's never met him.
Cam Cameron.
But the moment between Sky and Julia when Sky was like, I had my first kiss. And like you just saw Julia be humanized and just like be a person.
That's when Aunt Julia said
that she hates the beach.
Yeah. Or that yeah.
Well, I remember
Fun
some
fact.
things.
Oh my god, Georgie just took a chomp.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Georgie, you gotta get down if you're.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm distracted.
She's playing the game.
She wins automatically. Okay, ready? This one I'm really proud of.
Okay.
In the season 2 finale, Conrad and Jeremiah are having a heart-to-heart by the vending machines. My boys are having a heart-to-heart by the vending machines. What soda is next to the Conrad?
Actually,
okay, but
I actually remember clocking this, and if I'm wrong, that's awkward. But like, I remember almost saying something about it while we were watching.
I think I actually know this at all.
No, you got this. Put any soda.
I'm really about to put it in like a random soda.
How dare you not realize what soda is right next to Conrad? They were having a heart-to-heart.
But this is the kind of trivia questions they fucking ask in our trivia
in those
thing.
games. Well, everything else is so obvious.
Yeah, no, this is good. You're doing
Gotta
good.
be. You guys would be like, you get them all, and then I'd be like, okay. 1, 2, 3. Diet Coke, Pepsi. Megan got it.
I had no idea. Not even a little bit.
I remember in my head going, is that Diet Coke?
Is that Diet Coke?
To be fair, I did watch this episode at 2 a.m. last night.
Oh, so it should be fresh in your mind.
Well, because I was like, oh crap, I'm going to the podcast tomorrow.
And you haven't watched the finale?
And I was like, I must do that. And I was like so tired, and I was like, I'm gonna stay awake to watch it. So I was a little.
You're a little unconscious.
Yeah.
We love dedication to the pod.
Oh my god, are you guys tied?
Yeah. No, I think Megan just pulled into the lead there.
No, you're tied.
Are we?
What?
Maybe not.
How many have I gotten wrong?
I feel like Megan only got one wrong, and I got that one right. But Megan's gotten 2 right over me.
Yeah, I've only gotten one wrong. So
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Fine. Megan
better.
in the winning.
I had to fight for myself. I had to fight for my team.
No, your team is yourself. Madison's got
Conrad.
Georgia.
That's true, I
I'm
guess.
fighting for my life over
I'm
here.
fighting for All right. Finish the sentence. For me, everything good, everything magical happens between the months of blank. Blank until blank.
Oh my god, I just spelled this wrong. And
Madison, stop making those faces. You don't look very confident. This is just a mess around.
Okay, I feel like this is wrong. Hold on.
how much are you writing over there? You're writing a story.
I'm just scribbling out my answer.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I said May and August, but I
to
originally
June and August.
September.
Okay. So Megan gets the full point and Madison gets half of it. Because I feel bad. She was close enough.
Ben.
I started spelling August wrong, and you would think I would know that.
That's embarrassing. you get -5 points.
We said that spelling doesn't count.
All right. There's two more. In season 2, Taylor's boyfriend doesn't know her middle name. Steven does. What is it? I swear to God.
One of us should know this.
I feel like I remember it being okay. I feel like I know it.
I swear to God. 1, 2.
No,
3.
I'm not worried.
What? Oh no.
Okay, I'm just
Okay.
gonna go with it.
1, 2, 3. What did you say? What did you say? I thought that was like a give me for Madison.
Again, stupid. I do remember him saying Taylor Madison, but I said so stupid. I'm so dumb.
Elizabeth is my middle name.
That's what I was like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Driving me crazy.
So Madison was wrong.
So
But the
yeah,
answer
I
is
will have to
Madison.
say that Madison was wrong.
Wrong.
You were like,
Wrong.
I think I know this. Me and Brie were like,
I was like, it's definitely something I should know.
I was like, well, I'm gonna do this. Madison will get it.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. The last question for 10 points. There's 2 answers, so like you can get half. But like you guys should get both for this if you're like, this isn't even hard. What is Susanna's nicknames? What is Susanna's nicknames for Conrad and Jeremiah? Like, what are their nicknames for? Jeremiah kind of has multiple, or at least 2.
Georgia. No, it's so don't have kids, people.
Don't have kids in Georgia.
I don't know what
Looking for my kid, don't know where she is.
nickname is.
Okay.
I don't
1.
ready?
This is
Wait,
bad.
what? Really?
Yeah, I can't think of Conrad's. I know. I'm being really bad.
silence.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I should have known that. What's wrong with me?
Yes.
Right? Connie,
Yeah, Connie's right. And then
What-
Jeremiah has like 3. I learned this from research.
Mhm.
Jer Bear, and Sunshine Boy. And then
I almost
Conrad's
wrote
just like Connie
Jer
all the
Bear.
time.
Yeah. Connie.
Connie baby.
Connie baby.
Let's get it. So this is kind of awkward, but
Yeah, so we have lost by a lot.
do we know? No, you did good.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, between the 2 of us, we got them all right. That means Brie doesn't win. 'Cause
Yeah,
earlier,
that's-
Brie said if we got one wrong, that Brie would win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you didn't. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I didn't stump both of you on one of them.
that's good.
Because that way I would have won, so that kind of hurts, I have to say.
So you're the real loser here.
No, I'm not a loser. I'm a real
Loser.
fan. Right. I
Well,
won.
I guess that makes me the better fan.
Yeah, it does. I knew. I was like, Megan knows this, like the back of her hand.
That's okay. We have time to prep before season 3 and we'll have a rematch.
Exactly.
Rematch.
And maybe we'll be at a beach house because I think we should go to a beach house. Even though I
We
thought
have
that
2
this
years,
year-
maybe we can make that happen.
Whoa.
Come down to Georgia.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
We
All
can go
right.
to the beach house.
Well, yes. So we'll have to get that on the books for season 3. But I also think that at some point we need to come there, you come here, and we do a One Tree Hill podcast.
In
Yes.
person.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we'll get that going.
Super
And then
nice.
next week, I don't really know what Brie and I are talking about. Maybe Daisy Jones. I feel like I've said Daisy Jones on so many podcasts because we delayed it.
Every week's like, oh, we're gonna talk about Daisy Jones.
So maybe we'll step up and actually talk about it. But yeah, well, either way, we'll be back next week. And thank you, Madison, for joining us to talk about our little summer show.
Yay!
Yay!
How come nobody ever wants to play with me?
Yep, that's it.
Never mind. That's it.
No, Jer.
That's it.
Honey, baby.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Remember to rate, follow, and share with friends.
And find us on TikTok and Instagram at unseriesous to see more content and find out what we're watching next.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.